Boot is a knigi, is a mentorship. Hello, everybody. To another day, another program. This is another of those programs that you must go and invite. Last time, I warned you people to go and invite your friends and family, anybody you care for and love. I know now that you people will be more ready for it now. So, welcome everybody. As you are coming in, please go and call your friends and family members. Go and invite as many people as you can find, because this is the program that is going to open your eyes to what we call Christianity in Nigeria. The program about how the G.O's are using the 48 laws of power to enslave people. How the G.O and S, G.Os, are using the 48 laws of power to manipulate, to enslave our people in Africa. Please go. It is going to be eye-opening, big time. We did 15 last time, but this time I will advise us to do 10, so that, you know, within the 10, we will be doing 10 each time. But the one we did last time was so explosive that if you don't have a copy and you have not seen it, please go and find it on YouTube, on Facebook, how G.Os use 48 laws of power to enslave people. And I'm going to introduce you right now to my guest, Mr. Akinpelumi, who is the person in charge of, of educating us today. So, hello, Mr. Paul.
Hello, GSA.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. And you?
Well, I'm still recovering from the things I heard about the 48 laws of power last time.
Of power.
I am still recovering. I'm still recovering. And,
wow.
And I hope that Africa will ever recover from this thing. The damage that these people have done to Africa, I hope we will sometime recover. That there will be a time when we will be able to recover from the deception, from the lies, and from the manipulation that is now called church in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a city of blind people, when everybody is 100% blind, if you go there with eyes, they will say you are the one that is not normal.
That's true.
If you go to a city where everybody is 100% crippled, or with ashback, or what they call ashback, they will say it is you who is not okay.
Yeah, that's true.
So I got a question from some journalists in Africa today that they were asking me, you and this your strange theology and doctrines and belief system, that do you think that Nigerians will listen to you? Nigerians will not listen to you, because for Nigerians, they need God only because God should provide for them. God is a means to an end. But what you are preaching, nobody understands what you are preaching. Nobody will follow you. Because what you are preaching is that God should be the ultimate. And that, you know, people shouldn't be worried about what to eat, what to drink. That
what to drink.
Look for God. But that thing will not work out. Nobody is going to follow you. Because we are more pragmatic. And we need a God that will be there for us anytime we need him. That's the reason why people are believing in God in Nigeria. And that I am the one that is not normal. That is the normal thing. That I am the one is sick, who is not okay.
That's what we have now.
And I said, in a blind city, they will say you are the one who is not normal. I think I will need you to still move a little bit to your right, more to your right. Yeah.
Like
Yes,
this
like
way?
that, yes.
Okay.
But that way, we can. No, the opposite. Yeah, good. Yeah, like that.
All right.
So, yes. Can you quickly, before I tell you to do this, please, everybody that is watching us, I beg una, all of you, go and find the share button and share the message. Share. Go find the share button, everyone. Please, go and tag your friends. And because by the time you finish listening today, you will understand why this is important. Go and tag your friends. Go and tag your family members. Mute. Go and tag your friends and family members. And once you tag them, go and also share the message with all your friends before we start. Because when we start, it will be too late. So let's go and share the message with as many friends as possible right now. And then go and share in groups. If you belong in any group whatsoever, go and share the message in the groups. So let's go and share the message everywhere we can share them. Share the message in groups. Go and share with your individual friends. Let's go share the message. Let's go spread the word. Because this might be a life giver to one person or the other. This is a revelation so that your eyes will be open to what is happening in our country and in our in the so-called church in Africa. And you will now discover why we don't have church in Africa, why what we have in Africa is not church, but it is paganism, syncretism, or neo-paganism at best. So let me introduce to you my visitor again. This is Mr. Paul. And thank God he has left Nigeria. Otherwise, maybe he wouldn't have had the freedom and the liberty to do what he's doing now. But thank God, God has delivered him so that he will be a deliverer and be sent back like Moses to bring deliverance to the people of God. All right, Mr. Paul, can you do a recap of the 15 points? Just read us. We will not comment, but just read us the explanation, the point and the explanation of the 15 that we did last time. And then we'll do another 10 today.
Before we go into that,
okay.
Several calls during the week.
Oh, okay. Several calls.
Okay, then
I got several calls.
Maybe we'll not do a recap then. Let's rather do a review of your calls and the feedbacks. Yes, the feedbacks is better.
I got several calls. I got like 6 points raised during the week. And I didn't answer them. I just want to answer it here because some people may have that kind of question too.
And there was some comments. I didn't also respond to any comments. Maybe there are some comments you want to comment on as well.
Yeah, there's one comment. I have answered it, but I will also raise it here. There's one comment about 2008 Shido.
No, don't worry. Go ahead. Go ahead and respond to the feedback.
Okay. First person said, this is direct call. Someone called me. He said, I should have spent my time studying the Bible instead of studying this book. That was first person that called me. You see, which one? Let me give our audience an option. Which one is better? Instead of me to study this book and use this method to also create a mega church and be one of the G.O'S sons, or read this book and expose it, which one is better off?
I take the second one.
Okay. So he said I should have spent my time reading the Bible, not reading this book. If I read this book, I've read this book. If I follow this book, I will have a big church. I understand how it works. And I might not even be close to God, but I will have crowd and I will have money. That one is so sure if I follow this book. But I've decided to not take that route. I've decided to open it up. So I'm still reading my Bible and I study my Bible. In fact, it's because I'm reading my Bible that makes me take these routes.
Yeah.
If I don't study my Bible, I won't take this route. I will follow that book and I'll have a big church. Another one said, do I want to spoil my family name? So, we rather keep quiet, not say the truth to protect our family name. That's another question. That do I want to spoil my family name? Why do I have to come out like this and say things like this? Because the consequential effect is on my family. I didn't respond, but I have no reputation to keep here because I'm a child of God. I'm a Christian, and at this point, nothing matters again.
So
I have no name to.
So to Nigerians, reputation is more valuable than truth.
Than truth. That is one question.
Just like respect for elders is also more valuable than truth.
Yeah.
Tradition is more valuable than truth.
That's Africa for you.
And
that's Nigeria for you.
Religion is more valuable than truth.
Yeah. The question now is this authentic? Is this true? That's not the question. The question now is, you've got your name to protect. You've got family values family name to protect. That's the question. That's funny.
And that is what they will use to gag you. That is what they will use to put fear in you. That is what they will use to put you under the plague of silence.
Exactly.
And what they are trying to do really is to cage you.
It's to get you to a point of compromise.
Yes. But we know that the fear of man is a snare. And Jesus said, if to fear anything, we should fear him, and he that can kill the body and the soul. That we shouldn't fear the one that can only destroy the body.
Another one said, I'm too young to dabble into doctrinal issue. I'm too young to talk about doctrines. I'm too young to do that.
Who is too young?
Me. I'm too young to talk about things like this. But Timothy, 1 Timothy and 2 Timothy, Paul committed a whole lot of doctrinal issue into the hand of a teenager.
And he was just 16 years. He was just 16 years old.
Exactly. And today, if you can't be a good New Testament preacher if you don't read 1 Timothy and 2 Timothy.
Yeah.
You can't be. You can't understand the Christian character, the character of a preacher, the character of a bishop, the character of a deacon. Everything is stated out in 1 Timothy and 2 Timothy. And that was a 16-year-old guy. So what is age here? That's funny. Another one said, this is new age philosophy. Where was DSA 30 years ago? How come he's coming out today to be saying this? There is new age philosophy.
So the fact that we are attacking, so the 48 laws of power is not new age. We are the new age. The fact that we are exposing new age, we have become new age.
See, in my research, I realized that truth has always been truth. Not because of not today. Not what you are doing 2 years ago, or not what you'll be doing 10 years ago, or since 20 years ago you've been in ministry. Truth has always been truth.
Yeah.
At one time, like that 30 years ago that I'm talking about, okay, the truth has always been existing before 30 years ago. But some people deliberately bypass truth. And today we are seeing the consequential effect of bypassing truths. So what is happening now is that this is not new age philosophy. It's not a new thing. It's just the fact that this is what we should have been doing that we have neglected. We need to get back to the truth. It looks like when we talk about truth to weak Nigerians, it looks like a new thing. But I've met pastors in Canada. Especially I met someone who,
white people, Europeans.
Yeah.
I met someone who been pastoring for the past 40 years. That is the only thing they all know.
It's not new. I met my pastor is a pastor for the past 40 years. It's not new. It's to us, it's looking new. They have been on the truth since ever. Since forever. They've been on the path of the truth.
The person who is asking where was DSA 30 years ago, 30 years ago, I was already not in Nigeria, but 35 years ago, I was in Nigeria. And I knew what SU looked like and what people who are born again look like. They were saying the same thing. It is now that our gospel has changed. 40 years ago, 35 years ago, 30 years ago, Nigerian Christianity was not like this.
And the second to the last, there was a question. He said, everyone cannot be wrong. And only DSA is correct. Everyone.
That's exactly what I'm saying. The whole world cannot be wrong. Only Nigeria is right. Because the problem is that what DSA is saying is what the whole world is saying, apart from Nigeria.
Exactly. If
Nigeria is right, if everyone in Nigeria is right, why is the country like that? Why is the economy like that? Why is the society like that? If Nigerians are the one preaching the right gospel.
Yeah. So when I saw this question, let me give you this illustration. Something happened in 2009. We went for a conference in Winners, a youth conference, and Bishop Abire was preaching on beginning, that you should not despise your beginning, which was very good. But he made an heresy, an heretic statement. He said, everything has a beginning, including God. Even God has a beginning. Then, quoting Genesis 1, in the beginning, God. And in Revelation, the Bible says, I am the Alpha and the Omega. So even God has a beginning. Okay, the point is, don't undermine your little beginning. But he's now bringing heresy to support his point that even everything has beginning, even God. Then in the hostel, some guys who went to Bible school, who went to theological school, were in the hostel, and they were telling us that these things that the bishop said during service was wrong. We bullied those guys. We didn't have biblical backup. We just bullied them because how dare you challenge Bishop Abire? How dare you say Bishop Abire was wrong? So we bullied them, and those boys caved in. They just kept quiet. Now I'm beginning to see our own foolishness, and that's what we are doing today. They've been drunk in that law of power. They don't even know. People, now you bully, you just talk on the line, or you miss someone and you challenge that person that what you are saying is wrong. Okay, explain, expatiate. Let's go to the same Bible. No biblical backup. No doctrinal correction. We just believe because our pastors cannot be wrong. I've been there too before. We bully those guys. That's out there. But honestly, how can you say God has a beginning? That's heretic.
Where the Bible clearly says it doesn't have beginning, it doesn't have an end. He's the beginning and end in himself.
He's the
everything
in
together.
In him is the beginning. In him, if he has a beginning, so what's his end? If God has a beginning, so where's God's end? In God is the beginning, in God is the end.
Yeah.
But we didn't have any argument. We just, bully these guys. No, you can't do that. You can't say that.
Because you have been brainwashed.
Exactly, and that's what we have today. DSA can say that. Why can't DSA say that? No backup, no superior argument. We just say that today because lies has been sold to us over and over, and now it's sounding like the truth. So that's my observation as we go into the business for today.
Yeah, still, I think we should still do the review though of the
number 15.
Of the old 15.
Of the old 15. Okay.
Or we shouldn't bother. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't bother because we only have 1 hour to go. Yeah, I think we shouldn't bother. We shouldn't bother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People can get it online.
People can get it online. It is online.
Yeah. Go to 14 Law of Power. Go to Google. Type 14 Law of Power.
No. Not that one, because that one is dangerous. People shouldn't.
No. The review is online.
Huh?
The review is online.
Okay.
Not that book. The book itself is you can't sieve it out. You're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. No, but I want you to actually send me your review, your notes, because the reason I want your note is that you had said. I don't know if you wrote there the examples. You wrote some examples from Nigeria.
Yeah, I wrote everything.
Everything with my pen. But you will need pen is a problem. You will not be able to send it to me if you are writing through.
I will type it out for you.
Okay.
I will type it out.
I need you to send it to me because I want to be able to
my examples.
See the way it is in comparison to Nigeria.
Okay.
Some of those things you said.
Okay, one more thing before we go into business for today.
Yes.
One more thing. My brother-in-law, the pastor, is ready to speak with you.
I told you I will invite him to Ukraine, but also I wanted to know, is he bold enough to also come online?
He's bold enough. He's ready to talk to you. He's ready to come online.
I know he's ready to come. I know he's ready to talk to me on phone in secret, But I'm saying, can he have a program like this?
I told him two things. I said, is he ready to talk to you on phone? He said he's ready to talk to you on phone. I said, is he ready to do a live show with you? He said he's ready to do a live show with you. So he's ready.
And he's based
actually, Pastor, he knows more than I do. He taught me more than almost everything I know now. The fear, he told me the fear factor. He said he knows more than, he knows 80% more than I know. In fact, all I've told you is just 20%. He told me everything. Wow. He knows. But this fear factor, this, the fear factor has always been the problem. But he's an elderly man. He doesn't have a problem with fear factor. He's been delivered. He's ready to come online live.
Oh,
he will come online.
That is good.
But what will happen is I will connect you with him, talk with him on phone. Then we'll schedule a time when he can come online.
All right. You would agree with my team members.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's move ahead to number 16.
Yes. What was number 15 first? Do the review of the last point.
Okay, let's take a review of 15. 15 is crush your enemy totally. Crush your enemy totally. The summary is all great leaders since Moses have known that a feared enemy must be crushed completely. Sometimes they have learned this by hard way. If one ember is left alight, no matter how dimly it smolders, a fire will eventually break out. More is lost through stopping halfway than through total annihilation. The enemy will recover and will revenge. Crush in not only in the body but in the spirit.
Oh, yo. That is demonic.
Crush him totally.
That is demonic. And pastors are using this book and teaching it to their followers and their assistants so that they will use this to rule churches. That is why I'm saying there is no more church in Africa. Satan has hijacked the church, especially through these 48 laws of power.
So the question here is, who is the enemy? The enemy is somebody who wants to break up from your church. That's the enemy. So what do you do to such a person? To such a person, you crush him.
My God.
Let me give you an example. I used to go to a church before, and a pastor wanted to break out. All right.
Okay.
And this pastor was number 3 in this church. He has invested so much to set up this church because he used to work in a bank then. When it was time for him to go, the pastor crushed him totally. He wrote a book, part 1 and part 2. It's the title of the book. People can check it online. Disloyalty Exposed, part 1 and part 2. That book crushed this pastor, destroyed him totally, so that nobody will follow him. So after 2 years, this pastor who wrote that book was having a ministers' conference. His boys, his advertisers, his publicity guys gave this pastor an IV mistakenly, because they didn't know that there was a clash between him and their pastor. So this man took the IV and went to see.
Took the what?
IV? Church.
They took what?
Invitation letter.
Oh,
to him. They invited him.
IV. Okay.
Invitation letter.
Okay.
They invited him for ministers' conference organized by this bishop that wrote this book called Disloyalty Exposed. The guys who gave him the invitation card didn't know that there was a problem because these are new guys. So this pastor, he told me this story by himself. He went to see the bishop that, I saw this invitation card to come for your minister's conference. And the bishop was angry. Now, how can they give this such invitation? The following day, he sent new guys to him to go withdraw the invitation. I know, we can't have you there. So it's an enemy.
I don't get that again. Say that again.
Okay, this is what happened. This pastor left this church, which I used to fellowship long time, not winners, a long time ago. And when he was leaving, the pastor crushed him totally.
Right.
He wrote 2 books about him to crush him. Disloyalty Exposed, part 1 and part 2.
Right.
Okay. Now, after 2 years, this bishop was having ministers conference, training for ministers, and the publicity guys, the media guys, invited the other pastor who was crushed.
Okay.
Whose name was in that book. They mistakenly invited him.
Okay.
So he said, okay, let me go. Maybe he thought clash is over. We are now on the same page. So he went to greet his pastor that I saw this invitation from you, and he was angry. I never invited you. So the following day, the guys went back to him and withdrew the invitation. That no, it was a mistake. We don't intend to give it to you. So it became an enemy because he wanted to go propagate the gospel. He became an enemy because he wants to go fulfill God's calling for his life. You see, and he was crushed completely, and that's the root of that action. It's not from our own Bible, 66 books of the Bible. The root of that action is from the 14th law of power. And that can be, like you said, that can be a church. That can be a church. Because if people who should have propagated the gospel were crushed 2,000 years ago, Christianity will not get to us today.
Yeah.
That can be Church of God. All right, so let's move to law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Number 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. This is the summary. Too much circulation makes the price go down. The more you seem hard from, the more you seen and heard from, the more common you appear. If you are already established in a group, temporarily withdraw from it. Temporarily withdraw from it. It will make you more talked about, even more admired. You must learn when to leave. Create value through scarcity. I will explain this.
Okay.
You must learn when to leave. Create value through scarcity. Today, many people who are defending their G.O's and their pastors, how many of them have access to their pastors?
Yeah.
Today, this law is use absence and respect and honor. Use absence to increase respect and honor. And the last word says, you must learn to live. Create value through scarcity.
So they are telling people, they are teaching, this is what they are doing. This evil book is telling people that they should make themselves unavailable to their own people that they are leading.
Yeah, unavailable. When you do that, you have power. When you make yourself unavailable,
so that is why you cannot access the G.O's.
No, you can't access them because when you access them, they become common. So they have to be scarce. They have to become essential commodity. Today, somebody was talking yesterday on your program, and he said he sent you a mail. You reply. How many people can reply? How many people can send mail to their pastor and the pastor will reply? Or how many people can bump to their pastor without filling form?
Because the 48
when I go,
laws of power is what they are using.
They're scarce. When my pastor in Canada, my pastor, anytime you want to see him, just go to the office. At the office time, you see him. You don't have to bring seed. You don't have to bring seed. Just if every office time, just go ahead and talk, and it's always there for you.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
But that's not the way it is in Nigeria. You can't see your pastor. They are scarce. And today, people are blindly defending them. People who have to be serving you. Ministry, there's synonymous or another name for ministry is service. It's service. It's serving people. That's another name for ministry. But we can't see your pastor. We can't talk to your pastor. We can't call your pastor on phone. We can't go to your office. But we can see your pastor if they are very rich.
And people are believing the stories that they are busy. There is nothing like busy. I've pastored one of the greatest churches in the world, and there is nothing like busy. You have time for what you want to have time for. So for people to say they are busy, that's why people cannot get to them for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. That is ridiculous. It is because they are using this law and they want to raise their own profile and premium just because of scarcity, and that is evil because God himself is available. If I can access God, who is man that I cannot access him? If people can get to God, why is it that they cannot get to me?
Exactly. So that's our law. That's why people are scarce. They can't see their pastor. They can't see their G.O. You know, that's law number 16. Use scarcity, and that's no scripture at all. That's no scripture at all. You know,
That's against the Spirit of God, against the Spirit of Christ.
no, no, no. Because if they are common, if you see them all the time, then you will not give them the godlike attributes. You know, just like masquerade. You know, one of the brainwashing effect of masquerade in Africa is that masquerade comes out once in a year, so they are not common. So once they come out, you have this you know, terrestrial inclination to it that they are from heaven. Masquerade are not from heaven. It's just costume, but it's part of the packaging. When masquerade comes out every day, they become common, and you don't give them these deity attributes.
Yeah.
So we treat our pastors like masquerade too. They don't come out all the time. They come out once in a while. So we have this deity attribute to them.
Because they want to make people believe that they are superhumans.
Superhuman. All right, law number 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Let me explain that. Humans are creatures of habit with insatiable need to see familiarity in other people's action. Your predictability gives them a sense of control. Turn the tables. Be deliberately unpredictable. Behavior that seems to have consistency or purpose will keep them off balance. Be deliberate. And they will never wear themselves. They will never wear themselves out of trying to explain your moves. Then they will never wear themselves trying to explain your move. Take it to an extreme. This strategy can intimidate and terrorize. Now, this is it. This is how this one works. You realize that in Nigerian church, the strategy is all unending. There's no predictability. There's no one way for it. Today is true sowing. Tomorrow is true praise. Next tomorrow is favor. Next tomorrow
it is covenant.
Is covenant. Next one is evangelism. You get it. This is how to get God. Today you go for evangelism, then God will do your problem. Next tomorrow is true feet washing. Then God, it's ongoing. It's deliberate. It's ongoing. It puts people in confusion, unpredictability. It's either here or there. But you know, truth is one. Truth is constant. James and 1 Timothy 2:4. There's one God. 2:4 and 5. This is the truth that God wants all man to come to the truth. And this that there's one God and there's one mediator between man and God, the man Christ Jesus. Truth is constant.
Yeah.
Truth, someone said next is shield sacrifice. It's always ongoing. But truth is one. Truth is one. There's no partial truth, half truth. Truth is one. Okay? That's why we have that. It's also part of the law to put you in confusion.
Wow.
Today is this, tomorrow is that. Today is this, tomorrow is that. You know, it's deliberate, and that's not Christ-like.
Read that law again.
Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Humans are creatures of habit with an insatiable need to see familiarity in other people's action. Your predictability gives them a sense of control. Turn the table. Be deliberately balanced. Be deliberately balanced. No, be deliberately unpredictable. Behavior that seems to have no consistencies or purpose will keep them off balance. Yeah. Behavior that seems to have no consistencies or purpose will keep them off balance. Do you understand? Behaviors that seems to have no consistency or purpose will keep people off balance.
So be unpredictable.
Yeah, unpredictable. No consistency will keep people off balance. As you are trying to do it this way, tomorrow it is change again. As you are trying to run towards this, tomorrow is change again. As you are trying to run towards that, so it's unending. That's religion. It's unending. You'll be occupied 365 days in a year. You are pursuing something. You are pursuing something. You are pursuing something. It's unending.
So that way, that is why.
And that's another definition for
that's
religion.
why Christians in Nigeria are mainly pursuing illusions and mirage. Christianity is like a mirage where they are just pursuing something they don't know, something they will never be able to get a hold of.
As you get close, it disappears. You run again. As you get close, it disappears. You run again. That's another definition for religion. And people who are sincere with themselves, check it, friends. What are you pursuing in Nigeria? Check it out. You are always doing something. In January is the month of open door. February is the month of breaking door. March is month of this door must fire. April is a month of no more limits. May is by June is second half, new beginning. By July is another thing. By December, then you are doing Thanksgiving. As if it's over. Then January 2019, the thing will start again. This quest will go on unending. I mean, it's just game. Just
frustrating journey which is being done intentionally.
Intentionally.
So that people will always depend on them and begin to worship them and always put their destiny and their lives in their hands, as if without them they can do nothing.
That's how that one works. It's deliberate. I can use this to raise to have crowd. I can. But I've read my Bible and I'm not going through that route. And I'd rather open up now and just lose my reputation for this. Law number 18. Do not build fortress to protect yourself. Do not build fortress to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. The world is dangerous and enemies are everywhere. Everyone has to protect themselves. A fortress seems the safest, but isolation exposes you to more dangers than it protects you from. It cuts you off from valuable information. It makes you conspicuous and easy targets. Better to circulate among people, find allies and mingle. You are shielded from your enemies by the crowd. You see, this is why we have unending quest for crowd. There's this word I learned from Mr. Untitled a long time ago. He said, well, whenever there's a mob and there's a mob reaction, wise people don't think. Just like if you go to stadium. Normally, if you are at the stadium alone by yourself, you don't make noise. But if your winning team is winning, I've been to stadium a couple of times, you scream. You see, this is how to dislodge wise people with the crowd. You get lost in the crowd. That's why there's this unending quest for crowd. In the crowd, you don't know. You know, a lot of things are happening. Activities are happening. So you don't even think. You are caught up in the crowd. You are in the mob, and there's a mob reaction. You stop thinking.
So these people, it's true. They don't allow their people to think. The Christians in Africa don't think because the pastors, they have made them to become zombies, to become crowd, to become just zombies who just follow the crowd. They will say, do you see the amount of crowd here? Do you see how big our church is? Why should you think? How can you be right? How can we be wrong? We cannot be wrong because we are many.
Yeah. You know what my brother-in-law told me yesterday when I called him about this series I'm doing with you? He said, do I know why people are not thinking? He said, because they are seeing today a project is going on, activities are going on, that is clouding your face. You don't see. You understand?
Yeah.
Today, a building is going on, tomorrow is jet. There's something going on. So somebody who is not thinking, you say, but God is working. But God is helping them. But breakthroughs are happening. He told me yesterday, he said that's what they use to control people. There's always a project going on. There's one. So if you are not really, really thinking, you'll be lost in that crowd. You'll be lost in that fake glory.
Wow.
But really,
Christ's work is I want you to read this. I want you to read it again.
All right.
The explanation.
Do not build fortress. Protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. The world is dangerous and enemies are everywhere. Everyone has to protect themselves. A fortress seems the safest, But isolation exposes you to more dangers than it protects you from. It cuts you off from valuable information. It makes you conspicuous. It makes you conspicuous and easy target. You are exposed. Better to circulate among people, find allies, and mingle. You are shielded from your enemies by the crowd.
Shielded by the crowd.
Shielded from your enemies by the crowd. You see why we go for crowd. Now, the next one, number 19. Know who you are dealing with. This one is everywhere, and I will explain to you. It's in every church. Divide and rule. Know who you are dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. There are many different kinds of people in the world, and you can never assume that everyone will react to your strategies the same way. Deceive or outmaneuver some people, and they will spend the rest of their lives seeking revenge. They are wolves in lamb's clothing. Choose your victims and opponents carefully. Then never offend or deceive the wrong person. This one leads us to number 20. Number 20 is explain this one. Do not commit to anyone. Number 20 explain that. Number 19.
No, let's do them separately, because I like that number 19. Okay. Because people who are rich, just like the bishop was slapping the poor widow. I mean the poor witch. He will not go and slap the wife of a millionaire now. He will not go and slap some powerful people. So they select the people they abuse. They select their victims very well, and they take thorough advantage of them. So that is what the 19 is saying, that you should select the people and know the strategy to use to maneuver them. Is that what you think? Yeah.
So we are not equal. You don't treat people equally. Some people, we can do whatever you want to do for them, nothing will happen. But we can't do that to some people. Selective application. I don't really have much revelation on that, but this number 20 was when I saw. Do not commit to.
We see people who have money now. People who have money all the time in Nigeria are being treated with respect, with honor. But people that doesn't have anybody to defend them, they mistreat them anyhow. And the amount of money you bring, the amount of tithe you bring, and the people who bring tithe and who don't bring tithe, those are the ones that are treated with accord, with respect. And all other people are treated like animals.
Yeah. That's what we have in our country. Can I jump? I will come back to number 20. Can I jump? There's one I want us to, so that we don't, because we may not have time. Okay. I will jump to number 26 and I will come back.
Okay.
Because this one is brutal.
Yes.
We'll come back to number 20. Let me just jump.
Okay.
So that I will come back to it. But let me jump to number 26. Keep your hands clean. Keep your hands clean. You must seem a paragon of civility and efficiency. Your hands are never soiled by mistakes and nasty deeds. Maintain such a spotless appearance by using others as scapegoats and cat's paws to disguise your involvement.
Wow.
This one, my brother-in-law was in a branch one time, and a pastor's daughter was sick. They have been preaching miracle, they have been preaching divine healing. So the pastor's daughter died. Now, the pastor himself went to bury the daughter and pretending like nothing happened.
Wow. His own daughter.
So that his own daughter. Because he can't come to the altar and say, my daughter died. So he buried his daughter, then he came back to the church and still preached like nothing happened. Denial. And this is what we do a lot. You know, some people, some papas, some G.O's behind the scene take drug. They'll come on the scene and say, I never took drug in my life.
I never took drug.
And people, I never took drug. I never took a medication in my life. And people are dying.
Okay, medication. So they will say they never took medication, telling other people that they should believe, they should have faith.
They should have faith. and people are dying. They don't go for medical checkup. They don't go do what they need to do, you know, because the guy who is the person who is preaching to them is keeping his hands clean. Is appearing as a perfect person. But you know what? In 1 Corinthians 13, 11, 9 to 11, we are not perfect in this world.
Of course.
The perfect state is not here on earth, in this mortal body. When we cross to the other side, that's when we see Christ face to face. And that's what the Bible calls perfect. When we see Christ face to face, we're in a perfect state. So, why keep people? Why not allow people seek medical help when they need to? We have brainwashed them, we have deceived them, we have sold lies to them. And in actual fact, behind this scene, we do the opposite. People need to start thinking. People need to start thinking now. People need to start thinking now. God still does miracle. Yeah, He does miracle, but we need to think. God who gave the doctor's brain, that can't be from the devil.
Yeah.
The medical
But
doctor, that brain can't be from the devil.
they have to pretend that they don't have any problems, that everything is perfect with them.
Everything is perfect, you know, because that's how you can disarm your people. Because when you have that perfect look, even the most wisest will fall, because you have this godlike character, like everything is working for you, like you are. There's no stain, there's no scar. You are perfect. That makes people to think you are close to God. You are very anointed, and they will open their guard to you at your will.
Wow.
So nobody's perfect, you know. Number 20, do not commit to anyone. It is the fool who always rush to take sides. Do not commit to any side or cause but yourself. By maintaining your independence, you become the master of others. Playing people against one another, making them pursue you. Playing people against one another, making them pursue you. This is everywhere, Pastor. This is everywhere. It's called divide and rule.
Yes.
Do you know, in my former church, if I am talking about my pastor, my wife will go and report me to pastor.
Wow.
Everybody is set against everybody. Yes.
Wow.
Everybody is set against everybody. Everybody is watching somebody. Everybody is snitching at somebody, because that's what they have turned them into. No more love. The essence of Christianity is thrown up the window.
Wow.
Love, which is the base of our faith. There's no more love. Everybody is snitching everybody, even in pastorate. That's why they will not listen to you. If anybody opens up and talk about DSA, they'll go and report.
Wow.
Somebody is watching somebody. That mind game is very, very effective. Divide and rule is very. And I was surprised how divide and rule find its way into church. Divide and rule. You divide them to rule them. So everybody is enemy of everybody. You know, you are my enemy, I'm your enemy. We are watching our back. I mean, some people can testify to that online now. So if you are watching, you can say yes if you have experienced that before in your church, you know, or in your church, in your pastorate. Divide and rule is used. It's just like the crab effect. You know,
You want to climb, they pull you down.
You want to climb, they also pull you down. You want to climb, they also pull you down. You know, that's the G.O'S and the pastors set that in motion and they back out. And all of you, rather than look at the truth and look at way forward, you are fighting yourself. You are fighting yourself. You are fighting yourself, and you are not going nowhere. Making progress, but making action without progress, motion without progress. It's too bad.
So that is why it is the members that are coming to fight us on this platform.
You will not see the pastors talk. Even some of them know. They know. Like the calls I received, none of them said it was wrong. But why? Why should you talk? Why should you talk? They know. But everybody is looking for favor, one favor or the other. Okay? So if you open up, then they'll pull you down. And once you pull you down, you can't get that favor. You see? I mean, I will suggest that this week's teaching, Monday to Friday, all your teaching Monday to Friday, should be our manual. It will help us to dismantle, it will help us to smash idols.
Yes.
It will help us to cleanse the temple. It's not so, you know, unlike other programs that we watch, but this week's teaching should be our manual. Just listen to it over and over. No, you can't get it one time.
Yeah.
We can't get it one time. We need to listen to it more than 20 times. Each one more than 20 times.
Wow.
So that you can get the revelation behind it.
And deal with all kinds of idols in your life.
Exactly. You know, it's because, like we were teaching yesterday, that 2 days ago, that there'll be opposition when you stand for the truth. I had a revelation on Monday. Before you taught on that, I had a revelation on Monday.
Okay.
You were preaching in Fufeyi's church. I saw you preaching in Fufeyi's church.
Okay.
Jeremiah Fufeyi.
All right.
You know, and you were breaking the idols. You were telling the people that God is in you. I was there. I was in that church when you were preaching.
Right.
And as you were preaching, as we were smashing the idols, at the same time, Jeremiah Fufeyi brought his anointing oil and began to anoint the people. At the same time as you were preaching. But you know what? Half of the church walked out.
Wow.
Half of the church walked out.
But that is what is happening right now. I'm pulling down the idols, and all the G.O's that they keep on doing their own thing. They are just continuing as if nothing is happening.
Yeah, and he was furious. Then he wanted to attack.
Okay.
He used his extrasensory stuff.
Yes.
But I stopped him.
Wow.
I stopped him.
Oh.
And we left the church. That was on Monday, before you preached that there will be attack 2 days ago. We need to listen to this. I will recommend strongly that we listen to it 20 times each.
Wow.
So that we understand how this thing works. Now, number 22. Number 22 is use the surrender tactics. I think I've jumped. Number 21. Let's go to 21. Play a soccer to catch. Play a soccer to catch a soccer. Seem dumber than your mark. This one is funny. No one likes feeling stupider than the next person. No one likes feeling stupid than the next person. The trick is to make your victim feel smart. And not just smart, but smarter than you are. Make them feel smart. Once convinced of this, they will never suspect that you have your ulterior motives. Make your victims feel smart. Teach some things. Empower them to some extent. Teach some things, some anointing, some stuffs. Make them think they have your secrets. But they don't know they don't have nothing. You see, make them think they are very smart. Not ordinarily smart. Make them think they are smarter than you. Once they are convinced of this, they will never suspect that you are manipulating them.
Wow.
Make them smart. Teach them. Create a branch of your church. Put them there. Let them perform. They think they are smart. But think about it this way, Pastor. When you pastor under these pastors, under these G.O's, under these bishops, and you leave, it doesn't work for you. How?
While you were there, things were working for you.
When you are there, you are like a god. It's simple. The trick is simple. When you are there, they gave you the branding. They gave you the packaging. They gave you the accolade. They gave you the attention. They gave you the sign. They gave you the authentication. They gave you the platform. They have built that platform over the years, over 30 years.
Yes.
So when you function on that platform, it's magic. Things will be working for you. Unknown to you that you are propagating heresy. So the day you stand out to propel that heresy, it won't work. Because heresy thrives on gimmicks, heresy thrives on money. Heresy is expensive. You got to fund it. Heresy thrives on deceits. And heresy thrives with time. You've got to keep at it. You've got to keep at it. You've got to keep at it. A time is going to come. Look at TB Joshua. Today, it looks like he's good. He's been on the game for years.
Yes.
It's perfected, it has perfected the heart. That's how heresy works. Heresy thrives, it doesn't come overnight. With time, with time, with time, with time. It gets to a point that people will start seeing lies as the truth. So when you see people come out of this kind of stuff and they have not detoxified, they still want to pursue this type of brand, it doesn't work for them. Then their G.O's and their pastors and their bishops now make mockery of them, that because they were disconnected from the source, that's why they are suffering. They're not suffering because they were disconnected from the source. If they have the same funding they used to have before, they will have results.
Yeah.
All right, so we move to 23. Concentrate your forces. Conserve your forces and energies by keeping them concentrated at your strongest points. You gain more by finding a rich mine and mine it deeper than by fluctuating from one shallow mine to another. Intensity defeats extensity every time. When looking for success, when you're looking for sources of power to elevate you, find one key patron, the fat cow, who will give you the milk for a long time.
Wow. That is weird.
Find the fat cow who will give you the milk for a long time.
That is wickedness.
Wickedness. That's why you must trap them. That's why, as you use strategies, branding, packaging, advertisement to bring people to church, you must trap them. Because when you trap them, that's a good mind. You make money for a long time.
Yeah.
That's why they do everything. I mean, if we have nothing to protect, if we have nothing at stake, you shouldn't be afraid of the truth. But when people hear the truth, they'll be set free. When they are free, they don't come again. When they don't come again, how are we going to fund this edifice? So we've got to do all we know how to do to make them keep coming. We've got to brand control, mind control, game control, all kinds of game, so that people can keep coming. Not because they have to come, not because of any other thing, but that's our good mind. We make the pastor. There is money in religion.
Yeah.
There is money in religion. There's money in religion.
People bring.
There's money. There's money. There's free money in religion. If you understand the game, there's one game they do. Oh my God, God is awesome. God is. While we were yet sinner, Christ died for us. Even in our sin, Christ died for us. That's why God is so merciful at what is going on. Some church, and I am telling you, I understand all these tricks. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know how I got to understand all these tricks. Some church will prove to be innocent. They have board. The pastors don't steal. They don't touch God, touch money. The church board sits over the church money. But you know what? They always do program. They always have one conference going on. So he's going to bring his friends. He will approve the money from his board. He will pay his friend. He's come to minister to you. His friend has come. His friend's church, he will go back there and they will do the same. You get fraud.
They exchange the pulpit.
So he's not stealing. His hands are clean, but he's taking the money out through one way or the other. Legal fraud. God is so merciful, God is so merciful. Where we pray, like you said, we don't want them to die. In your preaching 3 days ago, we want them to change, but people need to wake up and go for the truth. People need to wake up and go for the truth, so they don't become victim of deception. Oh, our time is fast spent.
Yeah.
Running very fast.
We have 20 more minutes.
20 more minutes. Okay, we can do a little more. Okay, number 25. Let me jump to number 25.
Please go share the message, everybody. Share. And let's open the eyes of our people. Let's bring liberation and freedom to them. Let them know that what they call church has long been compromised.
This we have three. I'm going to cover three before we close. Those three is going to make us to think. This one is recreate yourself. Recreate yourself.
That's what they call it, branding, I think, in Nigeria.
Yeah, recreate yourself. That's why they preach like their pastor, they talk like their G.O., they dress like their G.O. Don't recreate Christ. It's deliberate. You recreate yourself. You know, don't be yourself. Don't be who you are. Don't be who Christ has made you to be. Be them. Talk like them. Dress like them. Do not accept the role that society foist on you. Recreate yourself by forging a new identity, one that commands attention and never bores the audience. Be the master of your own image. Rather than letting others define it for you, incorporate dramatic device into your public gestures and actions. Your power will be enhanced and your character will seem larger than life. Your power will be enhanced and your character will seem larger than life. Recreate yourself. So it's intentional. Whenever you see that, if you're looking at me now, whenever you see that, whenever you see anybody, you know,
that's what they're doing.
Whenever you see somebody talking like their pastor, doing like their pastor, dressed like their pastor, that guy has been brainwashed, and a mind game is working on you.
Just like that
guy who is talking like
Chris Oyakhilome.
That guy who is doing like his pastor is brainwashed already.
Yeah.
So do not expose yourself to someone who is already brainwashed, because definitely it's going to be stretched to you too. The game is going to be extended to you. You don't even have that in Catholic. You don't even have that in Catholic. Everybody's unique. Everybody's who they are.
Yeah.
You know. Now we are getting to another tough one. These last two, we will spend time on this, and we should probably close on that. Play on people's need to believe.
On people's need.
Play to believe.
Pray. Okay, not prayer, but pray. Take advantage.
Play.
Wow.
P-L-A-Y. Take advantage.
P-R-E-Y.
On people's need to believe, to create a cult-like following. Play on people's need to believe, to create a cult-like following.
Wow.
People have an overwhelming desire to believe in something.
And that is why they are bringing out the handkerchief. That's why they are bringing out the oil. That's why they are doing the temple, the mantle, and all those things.
Feet washing, you know. It's an instinctive nature in a human being to always look for something to believe. So when you understand that, take advantage of it. Play on people's need to believe. People who have an overwhelming desire to believe in something become the focal point of such desire by offering them a cause, a new faith to follow. Keep your words vague but full of promises. Emphasize enthusiasm. Keep your words vague and full of promises, prophecies. But you know, we are not empirical. We don't have facts. What are the facts to show that these prophecies are really coming to pass?
Yeah.
In January, like you said, everybody will have conflicting prophecies.
False hope.
False hopes is deliberate. Is a game of power. Emphasize enthusiasm over rationality and clear thinking. Emphasize, like what you'll be saying. This summarizes what you'll be saying.
Yes.
Emphasize enthusiasm over rationality and clear thinking. Like bowing down for your chair. Bowing down for a chair. No. Emphasize enthusiasm over rationality and clear thinking.
Emphasize
emotions. Give your new disciples rituals to perform.
They pay a lot of attention to dancing, music, all kind of jamborees.
Give your new disciples rituals to perform.
Yeah. Come to this meeting, come to that meeting, this night vigil, that one.
Because the people have been created to depend on rituals. If they just turn around today and embrace your teaching and take out those rituals, they will lose the crowd.
Yeah.
They will lose the crowd. The crowd came because of rituals, and only rituals can keep them. So it's dangerous. It's a complex thing now to just turn around one day and say, there are very few people who can do like Bishop Michael Ponko and just turn around and say, I embrace the truth.
Yeah.
Only people who have said, you know what, I have nothing to lose again.
Yes.
Another please Christ, that please man. But it's people who are still hold on to mammon will not turn around.
Yeah.
Because rituals was used to attract them. And if you turn around today and say no more rituals, then you're going to lose half of them. And you're going to lose your power.
Yep.
Ask them to make sacrifice on your behalf. Ask them to make sacrifice on your behalf. In the absence of organized religion and grand courses, your new belief system will bring you untold power. I mean, the person who said, bow down for my chair. How you gonna? I mean, if he told you because he sat down on a chair, there's power in that chair. What's more for him? You look at him with like he's next to God. If he can brainwash to the point for you to believe that there's power in his chair, what's more for him? You will see, the kind of power you are called to him will be out of this world. So his mind is power game. It's power game. No, this is
and the goal of the power is to be able to enslave people mentally. Mental slavery.
Yeah. The thing is, if your motive, you see, in this journey, like I was studying this week, motive is very important in this journey. Because I began to think, how can you be exposed to the truth at one point, and later on, you allow falsehood and deception to take over you? And that's what Simon did. Philip preached to Simon, but Simon's intention was not pure.
Yeah.
Simon the sorcery, was already making money from deceiving people. Philip preached to him, but he believed, but he still has an ulterior motive. His intention wasn't clear. All right. When Peter came, his intention was exposed. He said, "Let me pay you. I can have this power too. So when I lay hands on people, they can also have the Holy Spirit, not because he wants them to be filled with the love of Christ, so they can add it to part of his tricks and be making more money." Intention is important. If we want to be an idol smasher and temple cleanser, we must have the right motive.
Yes.
We must have the right intention. Like I told you the last time you came to Nigeria, many people came around you. My brother-in-law told me yesterday, he said, the reason why your GS microfinance bank crashed, he said they use that money to go and fund their church.
Ah.
Yeah, you didn't know. Their intention was wrong. So that's why this move too is dangerous. Because if you have the wrong intention, don't even join this group or
yes.
It's dangerous. Because only God can defend you. Only God can protect you. There's going to be attack, like DS said 2 days ago. It's not a threat, but it's just normal. The people who are benefiting from the old order will not be quiet and just allow this to just keep going, because they will defend their empire. They will defend their system. So you can't be here with the wrong intention. The truth of the matter is, if you don't use 14 law of power, if you use DSA's strategy to run a ministry, you will still have crowd. Because the unsuspecting crowd will come after you. They will think you are saying the truth. So you can use DSA's platform to gather people and be saying those things DSA is saying. Because right now, some people are confused. They don't want to go to church again. But if they see anybody talking like DSA, saying these things, oh, he's saying the truth, then they will come. Then when they come to your church, you enslave them again. You can't come to this platform and do that. Your motive must be pure. Your intentions must be right. Please, I beg you. You must have the right intention. You must have motive is important. Most of these our G.O's were at one point in time had a counter with the truth. Your motive.
Yeah.
Your motive will be reflected over the time. If your motive is if your ambition is to make money, you will turn ministry to making money. And the consequential effect of anybody who has wrong motive on this platform is that People are asking questions. Who is the right person? Who is saying the truth? Now, if you now go and hijack DSA's platform to propagate heresy, you will create more error, more havoc than what DSA is trying to correct.
Yeah.
Because now people will now say, after all, this is a DSA's follower.
Yeah.
After all, he was saying the truth. After all, he exposed us to DSA's teaching. But today, he's not different from them. And people will be worse off. I don't know why I said that. That was not part of my message, but
Beautiful.
it is. Yeah. So last one before we close, then we wrap up, and then is make your accomplishments seem effortless.
Aha.
Yeah, I see the last part is making us to think more. Make
I
your
can see Bishop
accomplishments seem effortless.
I can see Bishop Oyedepo right there.
I didn't say anything. Your action must seem natural and executed with ease. All the toil and practice that go into them, and also all the clever tricks, must be concealed. When you act effortlessly, as if you could do much more, avoid the temptation of revealing your hard work. Avoid the temptation of revealing your hard work. Avoid the temptation of revealing how hard you work.
Pretend as if
it only raises question. Nothing, we didn't just like that.
Pretend as if it is the anointing that is doing the work. You are not working.
Look at the last line. Teach no one your tricks, or they will use it against you.
Wow.
Teach no one your tricks.
That's why they are just telling some stories, some manipulation, but they are not really telling people secrets. They are just,
nothing works except somebody is working it. Nothing works except somebody is working it. The man that slept and found himself successful wasn't sleeping. The only work, success before work is in the dictionary. S for success, W for work. The only place to find success before work is in the dictionary. It does not exist. It's a lie. Success without work does not exist. But it's a game, it's a power tool. You make your accomplishment seem effortlessly. So people will be wondering, what is really working for this man? As dear said, you have an open life. We know, like 3 days ago, you spoke about, 4 days ago, you spoke about how to pastor the whites.
Yes.
This week I've not called. I'm not calling. It's not the time to call. This is not the time to be talking and be arguing and be asking questions. This is time for action. This is time to really sit down and get ourselves set and get our hands into the work. I have a friend in Canada, a pastor, he's from Kenya. He pastors white people.
Beautiful.
In fact, he's the assistant pastor of my pastor. Me, him, and one other person are the only blacks in that church.
Wow.
But I went to meet him. Before you preach this week, I went to meet him. I also want to pastor in Canada. So, do you know, after this guy came to Canada 4 years ago, he went to school. He has masters in theology. He understands them.
Yes.
He studied them. This is what we don't do. We don't want to change, like you said. We don't want to change. We just come and be doing the same thing we are doing. He took masters, 2 years course. He did his work. So he has changed completely from taking as an African. So he could communicate to them on their values. He could communicate to them on his answer has not changed. He still talks like a Kenya boy, but he understands them. He took 2 years master's degree in theology. And it's not a biased theology, not one kind of, it's a real University of Vancouver. He went to school to study. So when I met him, he was telling me that. He gave me a book to read. I was reading the book. Do you know that the way we preach, we Nigerians, the way we preach is rude?
Of course.
You come to the altar, You have prepared your sermon. Today I'm preaching on prosperity. Then you impose your thought on them. They see it as rude. They won't listen to you.
White people will not
Look
receive
at
it.
it. But
Yep.
this is what we do. You make them look stupid, that they don't have an opinion. You are imposing your thoughts on them. Whereas, if you preach the truth, just the way the scripture says it, they will listen to you, because they will say, this guy is not preaching himself, he's preaching the word, he's preaching the Bible, he's preaching. They are opening the Bible, they will open the Bible themselves. You will open the Bible and preach the Bible to them the way it is. They will open their ears. But what we do, we don't push the Bible. We do like superwoman that can talk. We have oratory speech, and we just bring our own opinion. It's rude to their culture. So when we want to pastor white, we think white don't want to come to church. It's because we've not taken our time to really study and be like and understand who they are, understand what works, understand their values, communicate to them. But it's hard work. Like this, my friend who pastored, just 3 of us are black in that church, 2 years to go take master's degree. If you say you are called to ministry, really, you should be able to pay the price.
Yeah.
Why the rush? There is time.
Yep.
Why the rush preach heresy today and come back tomorrow and find out, oh, what I was preaching was wrong? Just like 2009, Shabe was trying to clarify to us that everything has beginning. I understand. Don't despise the day of a little beginning. But how dare you say God has a beginning? That's heretic. And we are saying that because we've not taken time to really study with an unbiased mind.
Right.
See, we are biased already. Our mind is already fixed. So we are studying the scripture with our biased mind. We need to we need to be sincere, like Brother Osaro we always say, in your biblical interpretation, you need to be sincere. We need to, when Paul was telling Timothy, we need to study this book, rightly dividing the word of truth. We need to divide this Bible rightly, not with a preconceived notion, not with nonsense in our mind. We already have nonsense in our mind. So when we go to the scripture, we are looking for what is already, we are studying the Bible with our polluted mind. Okay, so why the rush? I will challenge somebody today who wants to be a temple cleanser, an idol smasher, not to be in a hurry. Don't rush to come out. Don't rush to talk. Don't rush to be on the platform. Don't rush to be in the limelight. Go behind the scene. You said 6 years you were behind the scene studying. Yeah. So by the time you came out with accuracy and precision. So I've been preaching before. When I look at that, what I was saying 2011 and 2010, they were pure nonsense. I didn't know. Okay, they were pure nonsense. They were heresies that I have inherited from people talking to me. We need to just calm down right now, less talking, and get back to the table and learn and study. If you need to go to school, I'm going to school in January. I'm going to take a theological course. I'm not in a hurry. Because I don't want to today say something and tomorrow you realize that, oh, that was heretic. What about the people you have said that to? What about those who have believed you line, hook, and sinker? We don't have to keep doing that. But the reason why the whites have consistent truth is that they are not in a hurry. The pastor I told you who is the pastor for the past 40 years, he told me before he started pastoring, the trainings he has gone through. Because I asked him questions. So I now realize by the time they come on stage, they are balanced. They already have balanced theology. They already have balanced interpretation. They already have balanced truths. It's not compulsory you go to theological school, but take time first to study Bible rightly. The Bible must be rightly divided. Study to show yourself approved, a workman that need not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. The word of truth must be rightly divided. And today, why the word of truth is not rightly divided? Because we are too in a hurry to jump up. We are too in a hurry to be on the stage. We are too in a hurry to be on the limelight. We've got to go back, like you said 3 days ago. That's why I'm not talking this week. And it's not a time to be talking. There's nothing to talk about. Take the truth and sit down, and study. So by the time you are coming out, you are coming with accuracy and precision. Not you say one thing today and next. Look at what is happening to Pentecostal move today. It cannot even stand 30 years. The philosophy cannot stand 30 years. Just one young boy will just challenge a pastor and it's off the air. The next thing will resolve into argument, into threats, into curses. Come on. Even the Catholics are the most talked about. They don't do that. It's because we have not subjected our philosophy our theology to tough scrutiny and tough debates. And that's why it is 30 years, it cannot even stand 30 years. The theology cannot even stand 30 years because we are too in a hurry to come to limelight. So I challenge somebody today on this platform, if you want to come to limelight, I don't know another part, but me, I want to go to ministry like DSA has confirmed the last time we spoke, but I'm not in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. Let's get it right. So we don't speak today and tomorrow the truth is challenged. Great works like Spurgeon's work is not being challenged because they didn't jump into limelight. The Martin Luther the reformer, his works are still speaking today. There's no theological truth that you speak without making reference to Martin Luther. These works were subjected to tough debate and tough scrutiny before they came into limelight. We don't want to say something today, and tomorrow is challenged. Thank you, DSA, for this opportunity. We'll continue the next time.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Good job. How many points did we go through today?
I think we skipped some. It's about 13.
We did 13 today. That's even more than what I thought we would do. I thought we were going to do.
Yes. So next week we'll continue. Next time we meet again, we should wait to finish.
Beautiful job.
We see how some dangerous ones too. We see how some dangerous ones that. Look at this one. Let me just give you a look at this one. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once.
What?
Can you imagine? Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once.
Never reform too much at once.
Too much at once.
Preach that there is need for change, but don't really change.
There's need for change. Then people will come for it. People will aggravate towards that, but don't give them. Don't take it small by small.
Deception.
Little by little. It's
that the business of deception. All deception.
That's number 45. We'll do that one when else we meet.
Wow.
You can see that even without mentioning, if we do it this way, if we don't mention anybody's name, just talk about these laws and ask people on the platform to mention names of any pastor you know, you will find out that this is people start. I mean, I can see names online already. Don't mention any name. Just talk about these laws. People themselves
will recognize them.
This is Pastor A, that's Pastor B, this is Bishop A, that's Bishop B. That tells you there's something in connection between that your bishop and this book.
Because that's what they are doing. That's what they are using. Wow, Paul, you've done a great, great job. Great, great job. Well, I hope that the eyes of our people will be open. I hope that they will see the truth and they will set themselves free from this deception that is overtaking our country and our continent. Please go and share this message with your friends and family. Go share the message with brothers and sisters. Go share the message with everybody you know. Go share in your friends' timeline, in your inbox, in your groups, and in the Facebook groups that are out there. And tonight, I am going to continue the series on the generation of temple cleansers and idol smashers. Now, we already know that Paul is already in that generation, but all of you and all of us are supposed to join the trail. Thank you so much. We'll see you in 30 minutes. Peace.
All right, Jesse.